Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? So I want to talk about collaboration. This is an interesting incident that's happened over the last couple of days. So I'm launching a new mini course, and there's quite a few social media accounts that I've been cheering on and supporting, not because they're big accounts, but because their content and the content creators behind it are creating some really good stuff. So I've gone out of my way to create value, not intentionally for wanting something back. But here's the interesting part. So I reached out to several of these guys to cross-collaborate on something that I'm about to launch, and pretty well got the middle finger in many ways. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Now, this is not a form of a complaint. I actually want to point out some really important things, because in the mini course I'm about to launch, I talk about collaboration. I talk about the importance of collaboration across the board. Collaboration is not for everybody, and the reality is that you're going to have to work really quick to filter to those who are collaborative and non-collaborative. And then for those who are collaborative, are they willing to go the extra mile to work with you to identify two-way value? The fundamental problem with people who are not collaborative and don't know how to structure collaborations is they don't understand the structure of a partnership. So at the end of the day, a collaboration is a partnership, a coalition, whatever you want to call it. And so let's break it down. So you've got the first kind of collaboration partnership where the two parties are at equal power, right? Equal strength, where then you've got this would be a symmetrical relationship. An asymmetrical relationship is where you have a stronger and weaker party, or the other way around. The other one is stronger or weaker, doesn't matter which way you do it, but the point is it's asymmetrical. What happens is, especially in the social media space, a lot of people are looking for symmetrical relationships. And these symmetrical relationships actually don't work. Now, I'm not saying that they all don't work. What I'm saying is that the most powerful type of partnerships are asymmetrical relationships. The reason being is that partnerships are built not out of strength, but out of weakness. Those walking into a collaboration, partnership, coalition, whatever it may be called, coming in from a position of strength, and that it has to be equal strength, and we got to use our combined strength, are people who are delusional, usually have a lot less experience in putting these collaborations together, and are usually set up to fail. Now, I'm not saying that happens in every case, but it's most likely to turn out like that. The reason that asymmetrical relationships work is when two parties get together and they recognize a common weakness or an uncommon weakness that they can fulfill for one another to work the other way around. It's not the first time in history that you'll see a very successful company like a Fortune 500 company partner or collaborate with a company you've actually never even heard of, okay? A classic case, of course, in all fairness, I don't know all the details, but eBay and PayPal. PayPal is a first mover in the space of payments online, and they got themselves integrated right into some very powerful platforms. When PayPal first started out, they were not coming from a position of strength. They were coming from a position of weakness, and they were interconnecting. The most powerful form of collaborations or partnerships that I've ever built are the ones where both parties come to the table and say, this is our weakness, this is our weakness. How do we work on this to form a collaboration in order to move forward? Now, funny enough, I'll share with you a couple interesting things. So this incident that happened online, I actually did a video, I put it on the IGTV exactly about this scenario. And the funny thing is, you wouldn't believe the amount of direct messages I got, people talking about all these collaboration problems they have, but the people that I was actually addressing the message to, who weren't collaborative but make themselves look collaborative, all started to reverse their attitude towards becoming a little bit more collaborative. And I'm glad that happened, because that shows that they are bad for partnership, okay? When they got back to me, I just told them, not interested. I don't need to shame you, even if I haven't named you, in order for you and I to work together. If that's what brings you to the table, you're not a good partner for me, and I'm not a good partner for you. On the other hand, there are others who are very open and ready to enter by giving value. All right? And I know we hear this a lot from a lot of major influencers, come with value, come with value. You wouldn't believe how many questions and inquiries a lot of these large influencers get, which is like, just give me, give me, give me. But They say, come with value and I'll be more than happy to give you, but they come with nothing. That's 99% of people come with absolutely no value at all. Let me give you an important lesson that I was taught by my father, peace be upon him. I was roughly 7, 8 years old. And my father told me there are two types of people. There's those people who are loved and there's those people who are hated. If you're poor and a failure, you'll be hated. And if you're rich and successful, you'll be hated. But if you're in the middle and mediocre, you'll be absolutely loved because you'll be like everybody else. Son, make a decision. Can you live with being hated? Or do you have to live by always being loved by everybody? Now, doesn't mean at the top or bottom, every single person is going to hate you. But you need to be at a point where you're okay with people not liking you. That's a big problem with social media. Everybody wants to be liked. Everybody wants to be shared. I get it. It's part of the game. But you got to burn bridges. You got to be ready and willing to burn bridges. So now we're going to move on from collaboration to burning bridges. I was always conditioned, as many people are, don't burn bridges, right? But as I got into business as a young entrepreneur, I discovered that inevitably you will be burning bridges. It's just how it is. So yesterday, there was all these people that I was forming relationships with by adding value. They weren't adding value back. And when they tried to, I burned the bridge because they're absolutely useless to me. Now, here's the thing about burning bridges. Let's look at it from a constructive and deconstructive perspective. From a deconstructive perspective, you don't want to be a troublemaker. You don't go out there and just burn bridges for the sake of burning bridges. That's pure stupidity. But from a constructive perspective, there are some relationships that will have no value to you now, in the past, and in the future. Burn them. Why burn them? There's an aura, an energy that comes with relationships, a burden, right? Today, you may be carrying 4 or 5 relationships that you have hope in that may convert into some value. But they don't, or they're not. But you continue holding them. Burn those bridges, because when you burn those bridges, you have nowhere to go but forward. It is the energy force that is needed to get you to move from where you are right now to where you need to go. I've been working in environments where relationships are very close culturally. And everybody from the surface is all buddies and friends because nobody wants to burn bridges. But behind backs, everybody is backstabbing, right? We all experience this backstabbing. They're pulling each other's hair without anybody knowing. They're trying to take you down without anybody knowing. Their success matrix is when you fail or collapse, they succeed. Why? Because culturally they've been conditioned not to burn bridges. Remember, it's constructive versus deconstructive, yeah? Now, we don't want to look at this from a deconstructive perspective where you're just burning relationships for no reason. That is not what we want to do. Some relationships are just not meant to be. And burning those bridges doesn't mean creating enemies. And burning those bridges doesn't mean creating trouble. Burning those bridges means moving on. Constructively moving on. Cutting that cord, right? Take that cord and just cut it, right? Remove that energy force that is holding you back. Could you imagine right now how many bridges you're holding with hope that some value will come out of it? 10, 15, 20, 3, 1 even. The amount of energy that goes into that is incredible. 3 weeks ago, I had 6 major business leads, and they were taking time, months to convert. And I had made a conscious and constructive decision. On one single day, I said, this is taking too long. Either they are deciding to move forward or not, or I'll make the decision for them today, no matter how painful it was. I picked up the phone. All 6 of them were no. It sucks. It hurts, but I felt relieved. I felt released because I didn't burn those bridges. I just cut them off. Just cut them off. It gave me the energy force to move forward because now I am focused. Okay? The biggest problem here, ladies and gentlemen, with burning the bridges is almost like coming to a traffic light and you're stuck at an orange or amber light. You don't know if it's going green, and if you don't know, it's going red, right? In the world of business, we don't need the orange light. What we need is a red light or a green light so we can make decisions and move forward. If that means constructively burning bridges to release that energy, move on. We need to build partnerships, collaborations, or coalitions, whatever you want to call them, because they're vital in us moving forward. Some of the most powerful partnerships I've ever built have been some of the most simplistic mechanics involved in making those partnerships work. One of the success factors that I can share with you, learning from many partnerships I've built, is when the limitations are set from the beginning. Limitations are the do's and the don'ts, right? It could be as simple as an expiry date on that partnership. Defining the exit of that partnership before you enter in that partnership. Having a unified, single, extremely objective measure that you are in business with whoever you're partnering with, because you're both sharing that same exact goal, working towards it. And you've identified the mechanics of how you work together in a very simplistic way. Open, honest, clear, definitive limits so that you're able to move forward and create successful partnerships. To conclude this, collaborations and partnerships are important. Those that are no good, get them out of the way and move forward with those that are great. Burning bridges is not a bad thing. You look at it from a constructive and deconstructive perspective. Constructive bridge burning is really important to get the negative energies out of your way so you can get towards more constructive relationships. And deconstructive is when you go create trouble and there's politics. Don't do that. Get away from that stuff. It's going to just take you backwards. So partnerships and burning bridges.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell, like the video, share your comments. See you in the next video.